This game is all about buckets. Bill Russell famously said in an Uncle Drew commercial. But before a bucket, there usually comes the pass. With sincere apologies to Oscar Robertson, who we never saw play, to Mark Jackson, who had over 10,000 assists in his career, and to Chris Paul, who still is a point god. Here are our picks for top 5 passers in NBA history, in no particular order. Steve Nash. Like John Stockton, Steve Nash also looked like a taller accountant or a local musician that played some basketball on the side. He was a physically inferior kid from Canada who barely got a college scholarship. Even his parents and best friends laughed when Steve proclaimed his desire to become an NBA player. However, Nash was determined to make it and never gave up. Phoenix Suns recognized his high motor, amazing hand-eye coordination, and the uncanny ability to survey the floor, and selected him 15th overall in the 1996 NBA draft. He played below the rim, but was so crafty with the ball, shifty with his dribble, using hesitations to manipulate defenses exactly how he wanted to. In his prime, Steve Nash was a magician on the court, orchestrating a perfect symphony that was Phoenix Suns' 7 seconds or less offense. Nash was never explosive, but it was incredibly difficult to stop him on the run. He did everything well at incredibly fast speeds, either slaloming to the basket, dropping off pass to a cutter, or punishing a retreating defender with a silky smooth jumper. Apart from leading NBA in assists for 5 seasons, Nash was also a phenomenal shooter. He shot 50% from the field, 40% for 3, and 90% free throws for 5 years in a row between 2005 and 2010. And in retrospect, he shouldn't have passed so much. Nash and his Phoenix Suns were 10 years before their time. They were the most fun team to watch in the aughts, and it was all set up by that little point guard from Canada. Nash shouldn't have won 2 MVPs, but he did. He should have won a championship, but he didn't. He was one of the most skilled players to ever play and is deservedly in the Hall of Fame. LeBron James. It's mind-boggling that LeBron has a legitimate chance to be the best scorer in NBA history and also top 5 all-time in assists. In his nature, LeBron is a passer, and making his teammates involved was instilled in him from his first basketball coach, and he never changed that. While many fans want him to be more like Jordan, LeBron plays similarly to Magic and is a hybrid between Magic's height and passing and Jordan's athleticism. This year, in his 17th season, LeBron leads the league in assists. He makes every player around him better, and you could put him on any NBA team and they would instantly become a title contender or a playoff team at the very least. He's the only non-point guard in the top 30 on the all-time assist list. His passing skills are off the charts. Full court passes, no-look passes, behind the back, between the legs. James can deliver them all, and all with laser precision. LeBron's talent is unfair. Apart from great physical gifts, he's also one of the most intelligent NBA players ever and has a photographic memory. He's like an NFL quarterback who is directing traffic and knows where every one of his teammates wants the ball and do they want it with or without spin. He's not MJ, he's LJ. While there will be games where he'll score 40 or 50, they will also likely be paired with 7 to 8 dimes. A combination of his scoring and playmaking ability is why he's the best all-around player ever, and some even put him in front of Jordan as the NBA GOAT. Magic Johnson. Magic is one of the greatest nicknames in the history of sports, and if they called you Magic, you had to do something special to earn it. Earvin Johnson didn't jump extremely high, and he wasn't a great shooter either. What was magical about him, however, was his passing. Magic could make every pass in the book, with either hand, with or without bounce, looking at his target or at Jack Nicholson sitting courtside, and still deliver it in the right place. And what made it extra special is that he had usually done it going full speed down the court. Magic brought the show to the Showtime Lakers, and his no-look passes were must-see TV. Before Michael Jordan came to the NBA, Magic was the most exciting player in the league and a player who saved the league together with Larry Bird. He was 6'9" in height, which was unheard of for a point guard, and outside of Ben Simmons, he's still the tallest point guard ever. The height allowed him to see the floor well, and paired with his exceptional basketball IQ and winning mentality, Magic was able to dominate from the moment he stepped in the NBA. His 11.2 assists per game is the best mark in NBA history, and he holds almost every postseason and finals assist record. Magic changed the notion that a point guard-based team can't win championships, and that's why almost everybody considers him the best point guard to ever play basketball. John Stockton. John Stockton was Magic Johnson's contemporary and his polar opposite. While Magic was tall, with a huge smile on his face, making no-look passes and living a rock star lifestyle, John Stockton couldn't be more different. A 6'1" unathletic white guy with a strict haircut and the only guy that still wore those ultra short shorts after they came out of style, Stockton looked like your average accountant. His approach to the game was serious. There was no smiling or showing off on the court. He was not particularly fan or media friendly and never appeared in commercials. Even though they were so different, Magic and Stockton are often mentioned together when the greatest NBA point guards are discussed. While Magic is the best passer in NBA history on average, John Stockton is the best in total assists. His 15,806 assists is a record that will never be broken, and he has almost 4,000 assists more than the next person on the list. He played pesky defense, which made him an all-time steals leader as well, again by a wide margin. He was also a phenomenal shooter with 51% from the field for his career. But what will John Stockton be remembered for is to be arguably the best pure playmaker basketball has ever seen. Stockton led the league in assists every year from 1988 to 1996. He was a maestro of the pick and roll when this play was a novelty in the league, and his partnership with Malone yielded more points than any other in the history of the game. Stockton's game was based on tremendous ball control and always putting the ball at the right place at the right time. He was a computer, always 2 or 3 steps ahead than everybody else, and this wasn't by accident. After he was drafted, Stockton took home all available VHS recordings of Jazz games and then came to the first training camp completely ready. He knew all the attacking moves of all the players and every defensive setup. His preparation was second to none, and throughout his career, Stockton did not know about free summer. During July, he trained for 2 hours a day. In August, he increased it to 5 hours, which contributed that this small, skinny white man missed only 22 games out of a possible 1,526 in 19 years. When asked about his favorite moment with the Dream Team in Barcelona, Stockton replied, "One girl on the street asked me to take a picture of her with Charles Barkley. She thought I was some tourist." And that's the kind of guy John Stockton was. Unemotional, indestructible, surgically precise. NBA's original Terminator, before Kawhi Leonard was even born. Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd is second on the all-time assist list with 12,091 assists total. They used to call him Asin Kidd at the beginning of his career because he had no J. However, he had everything else. At 6'4" and sturdy 205 pounds, Kidd was one of the strongest point guards ever. He routinely grabbed more rebounds than some power forwards and is one of the best rebounders ever at his position. He was also a great defender who made 9 all-defensive teams. But if you wanted to describe Kidd in 2 words, it would be savvy and intelligent. While others were playing checkers, he played chess. The greatest quality of Jason Kidd is the incredible ability to make players around him better and put everybody in the right position. He was a perfect floor general, and his assists scored big contracts for many of his teammates. In the first phase of his career, he was the most dominant NBA player in transition, a speed demon with the incredible sense of when to pass and when to attack the basket. He led the league in assists 5 times and made 2 straight NBA finals with the Nets, but couldn't go past Kobe and prime Shaq. In the second phase, he became a much improved shooter and finished his career with 3rd most made threes, behind only Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. Crown jewel of his illustrious career is the Olympic gold with the Redeem Team and the 2011 Finals, where he finally won a championship alongside Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas. A 10-time All-Star, he's one of the most intelligent point guards in the history of NBA, whose passing would bring the best out of every team he's been on.